Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We are here with the Fiat again, as you can see. It's been probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks since I bought on the car, and we are actually replacing some parts on it. As you remember, when I bought the car, I was complaining about some stuff being broken, and let me actually show you what I'm talking about. Now, some stuff I didn't go over in the video, but this right here is actually broken. As you can see, it's kind of being held on with, well, nothing. This little piece is a little bit of glue they put on, and this is the culprit right here. This little tab just completely clean snapped off. This is a pretty common thing that breaks on this. I had no idea it was even broken when I bought it, which is kind of my fault. I should have been properly looked at it before even noticing this, but I kind of learned. But luckily it's a cheap part, which is something we were replacing. Another thing I didn't even notice is the blankets. As you know, all the Fiats have these little battery blankets that go around it, and I actually mean this. So this little piece is pretty much like a heat shield for the battery, pretty much keeps it cool. This was missing. My guess is the original owner changed the battery and forgot to put it back in or put the blanket back on. So I went ahead and bought a new one because this is a new battery, so that's probably the reason why it is missing. The third thing, which I never really noticed, is this. This is, I guess, I don't know what this would be classified as. Maybe the trim, some sort of trim piece. I don't know what it's exactly called, but it's a piece of trim that just kind of hides some more stuff behind here. As you can see, it is just all disintegrating. All the rubber, everything is just falling apart in my hands. And I got some new pieces for this for both sides because both of them are actually disintegrating. I mean, look at all this. This is pretty bad. It's no big deal. Like I said, another cheap part. And lastly, I did go over this in the video after I bought it. But this being broken, the driver's side vent, a pretty common failure point for these. I don't know why these break. Maybe it's just from the constant heat cycles of the heat or AC being on, contracting and expanding or whatever it is. But this is clean broke off. It does not even move right. So we're replacing four fangs in this video, which are pretty simple and kind of self-explanatory. There really is no need for a video for it, but I kind of figured you guys maybe want to see a video on how to replace some of this stuff if you don't know how to already. So I'll just kind of be going over how to replace some of this stuff. So without that, I think the first thing we're going to replace is this, because this is probably the easiest thing to replace the entire day or put on the car. So let me set up my tripod and I'll kind of show you how to install this. Like I said, not really too much to talk about or even explain, but just go ahead and get to it. All right, as you can see, we got the new piece here. You are probably gonna need some pliers to pull out this plastic tab that is snapped off on the inside. So just like that, pulled off. Obviously there's glue holding this in, so I probably want to clean this off first before I even attempt to put this new one back in, but you kind of see the difference. Kind of the fade and all that, I guess the old age, because this one is much more brittle and about looks like it's about to snap. When I push on, this is much more flexible. So first, we gotta pull this little piece off, and hopefully it shouldn't fight me that hard. Okay, yeah, it is snapping off in here more and more. Okay, I did not expect that. Whoa. It is not liking me pulling on this. Okay. Well, yeah, that just snapped off even more. Okay. A minute job just now turned into a 20 to 35 minute job because I don't have any idea how I'm gonna fish this out. Give me like a few minutes. Let me figure out how much I can get this off. So I'll be back with you guys in a quick second. Hi, future me editing this video. That little plastic piece you just saw me break, I thought that was gonna be cheap, was in fact not cheap. I cannot buy that piece separately on the Fiat site, and I actually have to buy an entire new front cowl, and that's going to run me around $180. So yeah, I won't be able to replace it in this video, but I just give you a little bit of an update on the situation on that. So with that out of the way, back to the video now. All right, we're set up. Now, this should be much easier to replace. As you can see, these have these little tabs that sit on the inside of this. So all I really need to do is get a pry tool, which luckily I have an entire pry set for plastic trim. So let me actually open all this up real quick. Let's put all this stuff right here. Open this up. So, yep, our little pry tool, and we should be able to dig behind this and pretty much just pry this out because this is already broken. As you can see, like I said, it is just falling apart to pieces. This is already not, look at that. Cannot save any of this. This is broke. So, I have to carefully pick a pry tool because obviously, as you just saw, I broke the other piece of plastic a minute ago. So this is most likely all just gonna break in my hand when I start pulling at this. And I am a little bit nervous, to be honest with you, because there's another piece of tab that you can see. So knowing me, I'll probably end up breaking this that's on the bottom of that one. That's the wrong one. This one. I think. That should be it. These are omnidirectional. They shouldn't have to go in a special way. All right, well, forget about that. We're gonna figure that out. So I guess we're gonna start prying at this. Oh, I do not feel comfortable doing this at all, to be honest. If I'm just gonna break. Oh, wasn't so bad. Oh, it's all falling apart. It's a little bit scary, actually. There's 3 of these. So there's 1, 2, a third one down here. Okay. We're making some good progress. I'll just be... Oh, God. Uh-oh. I don't know. I think I just broke some pieces, guys. Oh. This is different. Uh-oh. So you can't see, I'm sure I'm talking about. So you can see it. These are different. These are different from this one. Where's the other one at? These are circular. These should fit though. There's foam in there. You can't really see that. Okay. These should fit. Let me go ahead and try actually pulling these little tabs out real quick and then see if I can just push these in here. These should fit. So I was able to pull this little piece out from in here. This actually should fit. Everything should fit this accordingly because look at this. That's the old one, I'm sorry. These are the exact same hole size. It's just that they're different from the inside of this. You can't see it. So all we gotta do, a little pry tool, and then you pretty much just pull. Now, obviously, if they break, don't be too surprised. That. Oh, okay. Finding me. Different tool time. Don't be afraid to use different pry tools or anything else you have. I'm using plastic because I do not want to scratch this. But I'm kind of like facing with an issue here because none of it. Okay, just drop that. We ain't find that ever again. All right, so now that we got all these out, you can see all the little tabs, all the holes. All you gotta do is kind of just pretty much reverse what you did and line it up. Now, like I said, this really only goes in one way. You can't really screw this up. Well, you can, I just did. So, I get it like this. Okay. Okay, okay, how did I do this before? Hold up. Maybe I grabbed the wrong piece. There we go. This is the right one. There is a left and right side. Don't get that confused like I just did. Okay. So we'll go, this little tab right here should feed at the bottom. If it lets it, jeez. Now I'm having the issue of how did I get it in before I got it out? Oh my god. Having some pretty bad technical difficulties here. Okay. All right, update number 2 or 3. Better way to actually do this is you remember if the old one had these weren't in here and they just kind of popped out. So these actually pull out too. So if you really want to, you can just push these out and put them in. I'm only going to do the bottom 2 one because this seems to be the ones that find me the most. But if I look, you kind of see now where it is going in now. Well, a little bit. So now I can see what I can do here. Watch this. Pull this up. Push the tab back in, pull this out, and then we can push it in from here. And now that we did that, this should, it's kind of fighting me again, this should just slip in. Okay, well, you also have to kind of center it. Didn't really do that, so now it's kind of fighting me even more. So let's go ahead and try our hardest. There we go. All right. I don't know if you heard it click in, but it did just click. Just like that, our first one's replaced. So now we go on the other side and do it the same way. Pull this off. Don't be afraid of the snap because this thing is already destroyed. Just like that. Now this one came out much easier, as you can see. Oh, actually look right here. This entire piece just snapped off. This is why it was so much easier. Okay, so now we can just pull these tabs out. These are probably gonna break. One out. Oh, final one out. You know what, I'm actually gonna clean the inside of this real quick. Let me get some glass cleaner and go clean this. Glass cleaner, the rag. Rid of all that black, just whatever all this is, I guess just from age. The car is pretty dirty. I have not washed it since I even bought it, and I've been driving it every single weekend for the most part. So, I mean, this thing is just filthy. Look at this. Guess this is the drawback of owning an all-white car, is you see everything. All right, now we got that clean. Then do it on the other side, so I'm probably gonna have to. So, we're gonna go into the exact same thing, pull the two bottom ones out, and go ahead and just fish them in there so I don't have to fight it so hard. So don't mind my little mishaps here and there. Got the bottom one. This one does not want to feed. Come on, there we go. All right. Just like that, we have new trim on this side. No more cracked rubber, cracked plastic, it's all been replaced. As you can see, like I said, this is just old, brittle, and cracked. So now that we got this all replaced, we have one more thing, actually two more things to move on to. Got to replace the battery blanket little thing right here, and then we got to do the vent in the door, which I'm actually pretty nervous about this because who knows what I'm liable to break in there. So I guess we'll go ahead and do the scary part, do this first, and do the battery blanket last. So let me go ahead and get the piece and move on to the inside. So all right, we are now in the car. We have our new piece, and we do have our trim out. I would recommend using one of these, the little flat edges. Please don't use these. This is a very good way to actually scratch everything because you can kind of see. It doesn't really fit behind here too well. So if your trim tool set comes with one of these, use one of these. So usually in the European models, I don't know if you can actually see this, let me drop this. There's like a little divot right here, and usually you can just push it out from the inside apparently. That's the videos I've seen. This is a US one, so there's no divot. The only thing we kind of hear is your traction control. So I'm gonna hope for the best here and just start trying. Oh. Wow, okay, that was, okay. Whoa. Wow, that came out very, very, very easy. I was not actually expecting that. As you can see, like I said, look at all that. Just broken on the inside. Here's your flap to actually open the air out or in. So just want to clear this up too. So these will work for both the driver and passenger side. These are the exact same layout, so don't be scared which one you're getting if they don't say left or right. I got this from eBay, so everything I bought in this video, I will leave a link in the description to what parts, or try to match the part number so you can buy these if you have an issue or some of your stuff is broke. So actually, if I get a bit closer, I think you should see this. There is a little flap on the inside, or drop this a little bit more. So this only goes in one way, but you want to make sure it's lined up perfect because there's the duct for the air so it can come out. Make sure it's lined up properly. I know it's gonna be kind of hard to get this in a little bit. This all should go in the same way. So let me open the flap. And it should just... Okay. Everything works. I was not expecting it to come out so easy. I thought that these tabs would actually fight me, because usually the videos I saw, these tabs were very, very hard to push in. Either the dash is broken on the inside and I just don't know it, or this is a very easy piece to replace. Look. Working vent. I can actually use the heat and AC now and not have to worry about which way it's blowing. It's so much better. All right. So now that we got this all replaced, it's time to move on to the battery blanket. So let's go ahead and move to that next. And now we're going to be removing the battery, or the bolt that holds the battery in place. So the PV blaster has been sitting for 15 minutes ever since I dropped that, and okay, there we go. Look at that. A little bit dirty, a little bit crusty, but nothing too bad. Over there. And the battery hold down just comes up. Ooh, that needs to be really deep clean. That is dirty. And the battery should be free. Or not. Okay. What is holding you in place still? Oh, there we go. It's free. All right, so now I gotta figure out how to disconnect this, because there's a million leads on this. We're back after one internet research later, and we finally figured it out. It was actually these little bolts right here, nuts. I did not know this because there's like three on this side and 2 on this side, and I was very, very confused. So first we're going to remove the negative one with a 10mm socket, and it's gonna be this one right. Okay, that is very, very loose, more than it should be. I'll loosen it up. By the way, just to let you all FYI, that should not be that loose on any car, so just keep that in mind. A little bit more loose. God, I'm so afraid to touch this. All right, and to make sure nothing kind of gets and interferes, put a glove. This is something I do, just in case. I mean, obviously, I'm just being extra protective. You don't have to do what I'm doing. So, for the positive side, it's a little more trickier. There is a nut up top you can just unscrew. You cannot do this one. I thought you could. There's actually a nut, you can see right there, that you actually have to use a wrench. And this is also a 10mm wrench. And you're gonna be doing it facing towards you. I forgot what side, lefty, righty, light. Ugh. However the saying goes, it goes towards you with this. And then once you do that, the terminal should pop out. And I don't think I'm gonna have to remove the entire battery that easily. Oof. This should come out now. Just like that. And to be safe, like I said, doing this. So now that this is disconnected, the battery should just pop out. It's heavy though, okay. I mean, no battery's gonna be light still. Okay. You know, for Fiat, tight spaces. Okay, well, I just broke something else. That was the valve for the inside of the battery. I'm gonna pretend I did not just break that. That's just gonna, it's whatever. When I replace the battery eventually, I'll get a whole new one of these. Okay, but for now it's gonna come out. Okay, that I am now 2-0 into this point of breaking stuff. All right, I ended up getting the battery out. Whoa. As you can see there, not that hard to get out. I was just being an idiot and doing it wrong. So just for future reference, pull the battery towards you this way. It is a little bit hard because if you have pretty much all your piping, your ECU, and then for the intake, this will get in the way. So I did not have to take the battery out to actually even get this on for the most part. I only took the battery out because we're going to clean this. I don't even have to explain this, but the battery, actually, let me go ahead and move my tripod and I'll show you how this goes on. All right, so for future reference, this is what it's going to look like. The battery blanket is going to go on like this. This is very hard to see. So this will go on like this and it will sit in the car like this, but it will sit facing this way. So the way to really get this on is you pretty much just want to disconnect your negative first, positive, and move these up, and then you should be able to slide the blanket on it. It will be more of a little bit of a tight squeeze because as you saw, it was already hard getting the battery out in the first place, even without that blanket on. So it's pretty much going to be the same steps with this. A little bit more hard to get it in. Like I said, you do not have to take the battery out to get this in, I think. All you should have to do is take out these terminals, move them out of the way, and slide the blanket on it, or cover. So we're going to go ahead and reverse the steps. I'm going to clean this first, clean the ECU first, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the battery back in. And voila, just like that, our new battery blanket's installed. So, all in all, this didn't go that bad. We only broke two things, actually multiple. We ended up breaking this on the inside that I cannot get out, so I'm gonna have to figure out where to actually buy this piece from. Like I said, probably eBay, because I broke the entire thing on the inside. So we only broke this, and we only broke that little thing for the battery, which was right here. But I don't know if this is even needed or not. I think it's just a little valve that kind of release pressure. If that is, oh, it's somewhere in this pile. But I'm gonna go and say, I think that's a pretty successful video. Next one will probably be me doing more maintenance, your typical, I guess, oil change, transmission fluid, air filter, cabin filter, even the spark plugs maybe, because I have a whole bunch more parts along the way I want to replace in this car. So I eventually want to do the coil packs. I want to go ahead and do the spark plugs, all the filters, all the fluids. And then I even got some aftermarket stuff for the car, which I don't want to spoil what it is yet, but it has something to do with the wheels and the headlights. Don't want to spoil what it is. You'll see it in the next video, either before the maintenance one, or if I don't do the maintenance first and then put the stuff on the car, whichever way it goes first, maintenance or the aftermarket stuff. So I guess that out of the way, I hope this video was helpful. Obviously it was kind of rambunctious, me jump cutting from left to right, trying to figure out how to install stuff that a baby could install, and me breaking stuff like a toddler and getting upset about it. But hopefully this video found you helpful. If you want to see more of me complaining about doing work on the Fiat, maybe, leave a like, subscribe. That'd be kind of nice. Not saying you have to, but it would be kind of a nice little thing. I want to do a whole entire build series on this car, just like every other YouTube automotive channel, some sort of like 10 to 15 minute build. It'd be cool. I've never seen like a 10 minute, 15 minute Fiat build. It'd be nice doing that. So enough of me talking. Hope this video found you helpful. If you guys did, like I said, maybe like and subscribe maybe. So without that, I will see you guys next time. See you.